special edition of Bump Love. We are right here in Jinja for the PSFU Women's Katale. It's an initiative of the Private Sector Foundation in partnership with MasterCard Foundation. Now, the Women's Katale is an annual event that is aimed at empowering and recognizing the contribution of potential women and girls as entrepreneurs. Today, we shall be discussing the opportunities available for women at PSFU and also in the value chain, and we'll be sharing our personal testimonies on how we are running our own businesses. So welcome to the show. The audience. Joining us on the show is Eleanor, Racheal, Suubi, who is the Grants Accounting Specialist at Private Sector Foundation. Please give her a hand. And also Ankunda, Brenda, the Investment Specialist, Crops at Private Sector Foundation, Uganda. Now, because we're here for the very first time in Jinja, I'm actually going to introduce the rest of our hosts. Yeah, so please, at my far left corner is Rosette Najemba Seguja, the CEO of Newman's Foods Limited. Please give her a hand. And also Angie Kemi Omeke Omumbeja, who is the CEO and founder of Pink Coconut. Please give her a hand. We also have actually a new entrepreneur among us, Racheal Mwine, who now is in the early childhood sector, running the school AM International Christian School. I'll be your host for this show, and my name is Manuela Mlondo, and I'm the CEO and founder of The Cradle. So welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you so much. And to all women in the room, happy Women's Day! Okay, we're going to start off with good things, okay? My first question is actually going to go to Rosette Seguja. Rosette Seguja is one of the people, her company, Newman Foods Limited, is one of the companies that has actually gained from PSFU. Yes. I know for a while, people didn't know Newman's Foods. You've seen the snacks, the crisps. Yeah, you've seen the Gonja snacks, yes. People are starting to say their favorite ones. And this has been because of the partnership they've had with the Private Sector Foundation. So, Rosette, tell us, share with us your story from where PSFU started and where now you are with PSFU. Over to you.
Thank you, Manuela. Happy Women's Day, ladies. We're excited to be in Jinja today. Where would we be as Newmans without PSFU in partnership with MasterCard? You guys have been amazing. I'll just share briefly about our story as Newmans. We are a snack business. I'm sure most of you have seen our snacks in the supermarkets. We started off, we started in 2013 as an export business, and then ventured into value addition. So we started with Kamulali. It's called UG Kamulali. And then we also ventured into banana juice. It's called Conk Banana Juice. This is all in the supermarkets in Uganda before we did the snacks that have made us very popular. So PSFU found us in 2021, and we have not been the same since. The support that they have given us has been immense. They've given us BDS, and that's precisely business development systems in the to help. I like your slogan, and I think I need to read it. Business growth is our business. That's PSFU. So they've grown us business because that is their business.
Wow.
They have grown us. We're not where we were when they found us. They've given us the best of the best in business. They've given us people that are best consultants in Uganda to help us with our commercial strategy, to help us with the financial strategy. So all these things we didn't have aligned before. When they came and started working with us, everything has been aligned. So we work with farmers because we want to be assured of the people that are giving us what we sell to you. So our crops come from Kisoro, especially the Irish, and these farmers are ours. PSFU supports farmers. So we are working with about 5,000 young people, and this is the people that grow all the products that we come and buy. We buy from them to sell to you guys. And to say that PSFU has been a support, I'm sure Brenda is going to elaborate more on all these other support they've given us, but it's been immense and we are excited. We can't thank you enough as Newman Foods for the support that you have given us to grow the business.
Wow.
Brenda will elaborate more.
Thank you so much, Rosette. And as we celebrate the Women's Month, we also celebrate Newman Foods. Currently, they are employing around 6,000 young people. And 70% are young women, so we need to celebrate them. And in this week, we are celebrating them as well. We've been able to scale them up to employ more 4,100 young people.
Wow.
So within the next 1 year, we shall be having around 10,000 young people being employed by the Newman Foods. And thank you so much, Rosette, and your husband for having accepted to work with us to create an impact within the communities you're working with. And the gentlemen in here, with the experience for the businesses I've worked with, those who are working with their women, they are the most performing businesses that I've seen. So if you have a business, kindly work with your wife. Yeah, kindly work with your wife, not a woman. Kindly work with your wife. You will see. So some of the business development services we've given Newman Foods is product development. We found them with few products, but they've managed to innovate and create the different products you're seeing on the market. I think they have around 20 products currently on the market, the newest being the appetizer, is it the OD? They have the OD on the market, the peanut butter. Kindly pass by and test it. We've also supported them to organize the value chain, the supply chain of the farmer side. They don't only deal in snacks, but they do export. So in Central we are in 6 districts: Mitiana, Gomba, Mpigi, Luwero, Kayunga, and Mukono district, where they are buying green chilies, white eggplants, red kidney beans, soya bean, and they are exporting most of these products to European countries. So we managed to open up their markets in different countries. You've seen Newman move to countries, and we've opened up markets, not only domestic markets in Uganda, but they've been able to move to other countries through the Sanists that PSFU is sponsoring to open up the different countries. Currently, we are developing for them a traceability system. You know, in export, actually, every customer, when you're buying a product, you need to know how it was produced, because these days we are health sensitive. So currently, within the next 1 month, you see their products, they'll have a QR code that can be able to scan and know who has produced. If it's a widow in sorrow, you will feel happy supporting a widow in sorrow. We've also supported, organized their systems at a company, governance, finance, HR. We found when they were employing around 70 people, currently they are employing around 200 young people, and I think 90% they are young women. When you just go to Nakauka and have a look at Newman Foods, you only find ladies working within, and their systems are well organized. Now they have an HR system, a finance system, and we've made them, they are now attractive to other investors. Wow. So currently more people come in and they want to invest with Newman Foods because of the impact they are creating on the ground. By the way, PSFU was the first partner to work with Newman Foods. Right. So Mr. Nakasero, in your absence, we also thank you as a Ugandan business center, because most of the investors are not Ugandans, but he had managed to build his company, and I think in business, it's the attitude. Right. He has a right attitude towards his business. He's too ambitious, because I remember when we visited him, it was COVID time, he had a lot of ambitions, and we said, let's also support a Ugandan business, young business. I think he's the oldest, he's also a youth, but he's the oldest in his factory, in his company. And he has grown, we've seen NASA grow. we've done, recently we rebranded, it's rebranding or packaging. I think you're seeing a different packaging on the market. It's also as a result of PSFU, because I remember when we were going through different markets with Rosette in Dubai, they were packing in a plain polythene, and it's who can buy your products, first go and change your packaging. Right. And PSFU has been able to do that. We did a market survey, see how we can increase their market share, and for the last 2 years we've worked with them, it has increased by 10% domestically, and they have also managed to export to other countries, regionally and internationally, where they've not been exporting to. On the side of the farmers, they've benefited not only from the market, because Newman provides market, whatever they are buying. And if you're doing export and you're here, you know most export companies, they only sort and take the grade 1 for export. But with Newman Foods, they are doing value addition. So with all the rejects that farmers are growing, they buy first grade for export and they add value to the rejects. That's why you see the calamari products on the market. After exporting the fresh green chili, they add value to the rejects, which is also a plus on the side of the farmers. They've been able to train them in good agronomic practices, because it starts with the market. They know what they want, the quality of the product they want, so it's top downwards. So they go and train the farmers the different qualities that they need in a crop, and the farmers have been able to produce towards that market. So currently we find other exporters are also buying from Newman farmers, because Newman farmers have the right skills to produce for them. Because in export market, when you're not doing it right, they will intercept your products. You'll be able to ban them and you cannot sell. And people don't want to invest in training these farmers. So Newman has managed to invest with the support of PSFU and the MasterCard Foundation Uganda, to invest in 6,000 young people, and they can produce the best green chili, the best Irish on the market. Try their snacks as Newman Foods. You'll never regret it.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This question is to the ladies. Can you share your success stories in your opinion, what opportunities have been put in place for entrepreneurs, particularly women, in the value chain?
I will narrow down the question to opportunities available to women entrepreneurs in private sector foundation. All right, one of the opportunities available for women in PSFU is funding opportunities. We have a couple of projects that run by private sector foundation. We have the GROW project, which is focusing on women entrepreneurs, and it's focused on skills development and provision of finance, credit finance that they can use to invest in their businesses and be able to produce more and make more sales, grow their businesses. PSFU, we have skills development opportunities as well for women entrepreneurs. What Brenda and Rosette called BDS services in financial literacy, in product development, in leadership, financial management as well, and all those women can tap into that under private sector foundation. We have the Invite project as well, which is it's a scale-up project that is going to be rolled out with private sector, and that will also be focusing on exports. So all women out there producing only for the local market, you can come to PSFU and you'll be given support to be able to tap into global markets as well. We have growth partnership opportunities as well. We get to link you up to other partners that are members of PSFU as well, that you can partner with and be able to produce in bulk for the target markets that you have. Many a times, entrepreneurs are producing in silos or operating in silos, and usually you end up producing so little for the target market. If you've got an opportunity to provide a particular product to a certain market, and you will find that your challenge, your biggest challenge is you can't satisfy the market in terms of quantity.
Right.
So when we get you connected to other business partnerships, you're able to produce in bulk, aggregate, and then you'll be able to satisfy the market that you have probably been able to tap into, and that means increase in sales, increase in brand or product visibility, and then you're able to even further tap into other bigger global markets as well. The other opportunities available for women in PSFU, we get to support women in export readiness, and that's under the Invite project as well, and it's also under the Lead Farm Structure project as well. Exposure visits, right, or market activations into other regions, other countries as well. And while PSFU is doing these scoping engagements, they get our partners on board as well, so that they are able to go and venture into markets. Recently we did the Serbia convention, we did the DRC convention as well, we did the South African summit, and all those opportunities are available for women entrepreneurs to tap into. Once you go there, you get to make so many connections, so many contracts are signed, other deals are signed as well, and just like that, you're able to tap into regional and global markets for your products. We also have the Lead Farm Structure project, which is funded by MasterCard Foundation, which is focusing on creating job opportunities for the young people out there, with the 70% focus for young women. So women can also benefit through that project as well. And the focus is to make sure that the jobs are sustainable, not just come in today, make a few shillings, and then tomorrow you can't go on with your, with your business.
Right.
So yes, those are some of the opportunities available for women entrepreneurs in private sector.
Wow.
That's huge.
A round of applause, indeed, a round of applause, because the women here need to tap into that. So from your experience, ladies, which essential skills do women entrepreneurs need to succeed in their businesses?
Right.
And this includes, leadership, financial management. Yeah. This could be for all of us.
And I want to share a skill that I think is necessary based on my own experience. I think that women need adaptability and resilience. I think it's easier for us to adapt to motherhood because this is your child, and if you don't give them support, maybe they are going to collapse or starve or whatever. But when it comes to a business, I started running this school in at the beginning of 2023, yes, last year, and it was really out of adversity. It's not something that I chose and said, okay, this is the path I wanted, but it was necessary for me to step into those big shoes, fill them, and actually run the business. And I have found along the way, I get exhausted emotionally, almost to the point of I want to give up, and yet to be able to be a successful business owner. The men, I guess, are doing it. I don't know how they do it. Maybe they know how to compartmentalize.
I'm not sure.
Or
they are not feeling like their children there.
Perhaps. So I don't know, the men maybe have a special skill in terms of being adaptable to the environment that business puts you in, however hostile it is, whether it's that you're dealing with suppliers or school fees defaulters in my case, or a child who is difficult to teach, and yet you have been given an opportunity to raise this child, whether it's to discipline or to teach. I think it's important that women learn this skill of adaptability and just build a resilience, an inner resilience within you. And I think the more you do it, the more you overcome hurdles. Maybe not the easier it becomes, but the more you know at least there's something internal within you. At the beginning of this week, I mentioned to a friend and I said, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to do this week. There was so much happening, and yet the business still needs to be run, right? And so she told me something that I was like, oh, that's actually profound, but is it really there? She said, Racheal, you have inner bandwidth. Because I told her I don't have the bandwidth to manage this week. And she said, no, you have inner bandwidth. And I think as women, inner bandwidth essentially would be our ability to adapt to various situations in the business arena. Wow.
I can share a skill that I think women can tap into, and I think women need to learn to leverage partnerships. Okay, in Uganda and probably Africa, we have a myth around fearing venturing into partnerships. We think, I began my shoe business, it's my thing, I need to work on it, grow it alone, eat my money alone. But there's a lot of market to partnerships. There's a common saying that says, if you want to go fast, you can go alone. But if you want to go far, go along with other people, right? And that means venturing into partnerships. It makes it easy to pool resources, pool capital, pool other probably machinery that you might need to use, knowledge as well, skills as well, and then you're able to scale your production, increase the number of products that you're producing, probably then tap into other opportunities that your other partners might be bringing along, the biggest of them being the money question. So if you have other partners, and it can be legally operated in Uganda, there's a law on partnership, so it can be done legally in Uganda, so that you're able to be safe while working in partnership with other people or other fellow women, and grow your business, scale, grow faster, make more money, and go further than going fast alone. Yes.
As women, I think we should have emotional intelligence as leaders. I feel like it's a skill that many struggle to have because we are emotional beings. So we carry that in the workspace, we carry that in the business, and it doesn't solve any problems. But if we have a bit of emotional intelligence where, if you need to be angry, you know how to, put yourself together and then have things sorted, other than, this has pissed me off, I'm not going to talk to that guy, and yet they are the best person you have for that job. I feel like emotional intelligence is one. The second is confidence as a leader, and belief in self, because people will believe in you before whatever you do. So that confidence you have with whatever it is that you do, or, if you're selling something, have that confidence to sell yourself, even if you're a personal brand. I make the best shoes, but women have a tendency of saying, yeah, they are nice. You don't speak boldly. A guy will come and say, man, these are the best shoes in Africa, even if they'll tear in the next day. Right? And then you buy them, but yeah. So I feel like, those are two I can share for now.
We usually have a challenge on Bump Love. Make sure you speak first, or by the time you speak, all your answers are gone. So I will speak into Rach and Rosette's answer, resilience and being bold. Yeah. My business is going to have made 20 years next year. That isn't an easy fit in Africa. Yeah. Being able to last this long, many times I thought it was maybe my creativity or just being prepared for the right moments, but now I know it's resilience. A woman is a resilient human being. We wake up, we put on weight when we have these babies, and we bounce back. We get to the office, we're trying to explain ourselves, and someone is thinking, I think she's having an emotional breakdown. So I would keep saying that resilience, getting up every day, doing the things you love, doing the things you don't love, but making it happen over and over again. I love the fact that Rosette said, just being able to be sure of yourself. In the beginning, I was good. Right now, I'm so sure of myself. And what does that do? It opens doors. Even when half the time I don't know what I'm talking about. But it opens doors. After the door is opened, I get inside, then I'm like, girls, how do they do this? So, resilience and be bold.
Okay, thank you. Women, avoid fear. Go for it. Believe in yourself and be positive. So to me, I think let's avoid fear. If you sleep on a truck of matoke from Bara to Kampala, go for it, you can do it. So believe in yourself and avoid fear. So I think it's one of the skills for us as women, because sometimes we have self-pity. You think you can't do it, me, I'm a woman, now I'm breastfeeding. One time I was a leader somewhere. I never used, especially women, we have a lot of excuses all the time. My child is sick, I'm breastfeeding. It's okay, those challenges exist, but let us avoid the world of excuses, because we need to earn money, we need to have our own thing, so let us avoid self-pity and do what we are supposed to do.
She just reminded me when she said women have excuses. Yesterday I saw a lady who was on a bike, like a motorcycle, carrying a baby at the back. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, you're saying that because this morning I was having a conversation with some ladies that I mentor. And they were telling me, you know, we have so many barriers as women because, you know, in the past, women used not to eat eggs. I'm saying, up to now, is that a conversation we are still having? Sometimes I feel like the devil is really our worst enemy because the world can't be this open. Yeah, you can't be having opportunities with PSFU. You can't be hearing testimonies from people that have done it. And then you go home and you say, but you see, now as women, we really suffer. Really? You've not even gotten out of your house. You've not written a proposal. You've not presented your proposal. You've not done half the work. You've already anticipated from your room as you sleep that there are problems ahead just because you are a female entrepreneur. You can really see that there's problems. And then you see men going and you say, you see, I told you. The men are there. And you're like, darling, you didn't get up out of your bed. When they told you that there was a challenge with your product, you went like, can you imagine? How can she say? Women, they say, I left women alone. You know, so we sit there at the back using every excuse because while I don't agree that, you know, our children and breastfeeding is an excuse, sometimes it's for real, like you said, right? Yeah. Although, indeed, there are some women who take bachi susa, and then they make it hard for the rest of us. Like, she gets pregnant first month,
the whole
and she's suffering. All of us, yeah, even us, we fear to get pregnant because we're like, if that is what we're going to go through.
I don't want to be there.
So, but then there's our mindset, like our minds have refused. It's like someone went and poured this mindset inside us, and then when he sees it's coming out, mowers us, then they mowers us. So I really, I agree with you on that. To think I had a gentleman said my skill.
Please go.
We will have run the cradle 10 years as of 20, as of 1st June 2024. And I remember we started the businesses at about the same time with Rosette. But this is the thing for me that I have felt over these years that I think is a major skill that women need, and that's business acumen. Guys, business acumen will eat your passion for breakfast. It will eat your ambition for lunch. It will eat your drive for dinner. I thought all I needed was passion, drive, ambition, my idea, people, friends, ladies. If you don't know how to run business, your business will fail. I'm not a prophet. I don't need to be one to tell you. And so when they call you and say, oh, by the way, we're going to give you business development services, run. Run. Because they're going to teach you all the skills that we are talking about here. Leadership skills is part of business acumen. Financial management is in business acumen. Sales, which is the bloodline of any business. You people, instead of being satisfied for earning 10,000 shillings a month, we can actually, 10,000 shillings a day. We can actually get to a place where we can earn $10,000 US a day. It's possible.
Yes, it is.
It's possible. Your shoes, you can sell so many shoes that you earn 10,000 US dollars a day. It's possible. If it has happened for somebody else, it can also happen for you. The only difference between the two is one of you has business acumen and another one doesn't. And let me tell you, you can pray all you want. You can fast all you want. You can pray in all the tongues that you want. You can visit every pastor. You can give seed in every church. You can do everything. You can kwekulula on the floor. But ladies, if we do not get business management skills, we are doomed to either stay small or fail completely.
Correct. Final question for this session. Ladies, how have you managed to balance your work or maybe your business and your life as a mother? Yes. Angie, you look ready to go.
I'll go first because I have been blessed to have had my children really young. My firstborn is going to be 27th in April, and my lastborn is going to be 18 in April. So I'll go first because that wasn't a problem for me. I was able to take off 10 years of my life to raise my children, but I have seen how difficult it is, and from my research, from seeing and viewing others, I don't believe there is anything like work-life balance. But if you do manage to find a way to document, you know, what is happening in your life at home, in your life at work, maybe you can try and do the maths and it somehow scales itself. But I'm not an expert in that area, so I'll give those that have had babies when they're working.
Oh wow, yes, I had all my babies while I was working, and when I had them I was in a formal job. I was working under an FMCG organization, and that's Coca-Cola to be precise, so fast moving. And I had all my babies then. You would have to drive your Coca-Cola pickup and do all these things while you're heavy and then come back. But how I balanced is I put structures in place to help you, especially at home, because many times you can't balance at work when home is a bit not structured. You'll keep thinking about the babies, thinking about, oh my God, this maid, has she cooked for my kids? Oh my God, what do I do? So when you put structures in place, it helps you have a relief. Like even when you go to work, you're sure everything is aligned. You're sure your kids will have meals in time. And also having that whole organization, like a planner. I know Lina, I've stolen you.
I can't see my point.
She's a trainer, she's a coach on planning. So she talks a lot about planning, but yeah, it's very essential, especially when you're balancing work and family. If you do not plan, you go haywire. I mean, all of us have complained for a while, especially us who have had kids while we are running businesses and working. Like, banango chikolo tia. Then for me, I have one kid naye ngabi intwala. And then there is us with 4. You're balancing 4 kids, a husband, and a business, and yeah, everything has to be aligned. But I think it's, for me, is not a work-life balance. Like you said, that balance can never be there, but you prioritize what is key at the moment. If your children need you at a particular moment and you feel like, no, I've given work so much attention, give the next week to children. Let them feel you as well. I love a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Really cool nuggets on navigating life and work. And there's one that says, do first things first. What the priority is what you should focus on first, yeah? If your babies need you, for example, if you have a sick child to take to hospital, those shoes you're selling can wait, really. They can wait. Yeah, you can always balance or add more time. Yeah.
Wow. All right, thank you very much. Very incredible question, really, Rachel. I'll share my story. Probably before I share the story, I think what works best, also related to what Rosetta said, it is building systems around yourself, building support systems around yourself, and I think that worked for me. I had my first and only child when I was new. I was a few months into a new job, right? And then suddenly my boss was leading this organization, left the country, and I had no option but to take over. So I had this 4-month-old baby. I had this new job I had to keep. I was the only breadwinner at home that time. And that means I couldn't take the option that Rosette is giving us of prioritize. I couldn't prioritize my 4-month-old baby because the job was also equally a priority at that particular time. But thank God for people, Emanuela and the Cradle. So I scouted around my area, and there was a daycare center that was taking in infants. So I said, you know what? This is heaven sent. I am going to take my little one to the daycare center. Believe me, day one I cried because it was unbelievable. I was leaving my 4-month-old in a daycare center, but that was the option at that moment. So I left my 4 months in there, and I would go to work, and it was routine every day. Wake up, do your bottles, do your formula, pack it properly, take her to the daycare center, drive to work, do your work, go pick her up at 5 p.m., go back home, continue with your home responsibilities. But the good thing that, like Racheal said, women, we are resilient, and I think God gave us that gift as women. My mind, body was able to adjust to all that, and before I knew it, I was able to effectively perform. I grew the company in just 3 years. I was able to be promoted. My child grew up. She has great values, I believe. She has great values, and she's grounded in Christ. So yeah, I was able to win. Building systems around yourself, you're able to win and achieve on both. Yes.
I absolutely love that. I always tell parents, the truth is you'd rather leave your child with a professional caregiver than an uneducated young girl that's, especially if you can afford it. I think it's only the right thing to do, to leave your child in the best care that you possibly can. I think probably this is the number one question that I get in all of my life. Like, I didn't know that that would be the summation of my life. After all my hard work, the number one question I would get was, but how do you manage all those things? I know, yes, I've introduced the Cradle, but then there's also things like Bump Love. I run a personal PR and marketing agency. Me and my husband own a business garage group together. We also do Ride with Londos. I have 2 children. I have a husband. He's a whole business of his own. But I'm also a mother. I'm also a child. Somewhere. I'm someone's child. I'm also someone's sister. I'm also a friend. You know, so there's so many things that. And the truth is, even for each of those businesses, I am doing other things in there. I'm a personal brand. And so I'm always doing courses, I'm doing speaking engagements, I'm always all over the place, yeah? And it's not just because I want to be. For me, I truly believe that one day God is going to hold me accountable for the gifts and talents that I have. He's going to call me and say, so I gave you 5 talents. Which ones did you multiply, right? So I'm the kind of person who I also sing in church. I also dance. I also act, like as in. By the time I go to meet my maker, my personal prayer, because I'll go to heaven, whether I like it or not, hallelujah. When I go to heaven, there is only one thing, Chenjagala, to hear from him. Well done, good and faithful servant. Then I go to my mansion and I sleep there in my mansion for eternity. So for me, I'm very big on living to my full potential. I want to enter the grave truly empty, with nothing left of me, and I will have given as much as I can to this world. That is what I wake up every morning to do. So that's why that's the number one question I get. But how do you manage? And I'm telling you, guys, I have seen what depression looks like when I didn't know how to manage it. I was in a deep, dark hole. to places where only my husband could shower me because I didn't understand what was going on. I was not eating, I was not drinking, I was smelling, I was just there, depressed. And to think that to get out of that pit is one of the things that now God is using me to teach other women. How do we live to our full potential, both at work and in our lives? Because when you look at the Proverbs 31 woman, that chick, she balanced things. I don't know how, but that chick, she does the home. She's the one who sews the clothes. Then she's the trader. Then her husband is happy. Then she's the investor. Then she buys fields. Then my God, her home is well managed. Her housemaids are fine. I'm like, man, there is no scripture in the Bible that exists for her. It exists for a purpose. So that means a Proverbs 31 woman exists in each of us. The question is how to find her and be able to balance that boat. And so every day I wake up just to do that. But I'll tell you one thing. The first thing that I tell people when they ask me that question, one, know your season. Know your season. It's important to know your season. Our biggest challenge is many people will look at Racheal, they'll look at Rosette, they'll look at Angie, and they'll want to live the life of Racheal when they are 20 years old. Racheal is not 20. No, she's not. But you should ask her, when you were 20, what were you doing? Because you will find the things that we are seeking for balance, we could have sorted out if we had recognized them in the season earlier. Let me give you an example. One of the things that I tell women to do is to have routines. The best time to establish a routine is when you're still single. That's the best time. Because then what happens is you say, when you get married, you're just adjusting the time. For someone who used to wake up at 6, now that you're married, you'll wake up at 5. Then when children come in, you wake up at 4. But the morning routine remains. Your evening routine remains. You should be having right now a menu as a single girl. Why are you waiting when you're married? Why? Because then when that time comes, you're going to struggle with that menu. You're going to struggle. Haven't we? You understand what I mean? We struggle. You understand it? Yeah. So had you done this menu before, by the time you get married, now you're just asking your husband, Auntie baby, what is it that you like? Then he says, I can't live without rice. No, you just add rice on the meal for every day. But you already have an existing menu. You're not starting from zero. So the period of your 20s and below is for you to establish foundations. Why don't you have a routine for your upkeep, your hair, your nails, your those things that we do, waxing, exercise routine. Start getting used to exercising now, because when you try, the babies are there, friends. You're trying to work out, the baby is calling. You're trying to work out, the breasts are hard from the breast milk, friend. You would rather, I see men laughing. Men, those are our issues. They are our issues. If you learned how to work out and make that your foundation, you find that by the time you're having children, you seek to work out. But now as we are being forced, it's like a chore, right? For us to work out. But that is what you do in your 20s. That is your season of building foundations. So I just would like to say, know your season. Start working on what you need to do to prepare for the time when this work and this life will be, it will be a real balancing act. At least it will find you halfway prepared. Be the full woman that you need to be, so that now when you come into a marriage situation, you're now just adding the wife. When you come into the motherhood situation, you're now adding the mother, but you're already woman. Many of us women lose our womanhood, who we are, immediately we get married. But if you know who you are in your 20s, you've built the foundations. that won't be an issue, okay? So just know your season, and yeah, hopefully that will help. That will help you. Yeah.
Personally, I haven't gotten any challenges. I gave birth at a young age, and I've been having a family support system, relative after relative. Whenever I have a maid, I have a relative. So I'm not shaken, and I don't think I've ever given any excuse of not working. My why is money. So if it's work, I work.
Wow.
I've not given any excuse of not working. And when work became so serious, I first gave it a break. My child is 7 years old. She's going to make 8. But I think it's prioritize and try to balance your time. I think when I start again, I'll be able to manage, especially on planning my time. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe just to summarize, what I think Brenda is trying to say, which was going to be my submission, is leaning into support. So lean into your support system. I know that many times as women, we want to do everything because we can, but you will burn out. And there are people who are, God has placed around you to support you. For some of you, it's your moms. For some of you, it's relatives, like she has said, friends, the cradle, so daycares, and all these things that people put in place so that you can go to work and focus. It's not weakness for you to say, I need help, and then lean into that help. Yeah, so I just wanted to summarize that.
Woo! Wow, what a show. Like, I feel like I wish I had a pen and a paper to write down and scribble all of these things that you guys have said. I think it's really powerful, coming from a place of building a multi-million-dollar business right there at the corner, to 20 years in business and having children that are 27 even now and looking like the Mumbeja. That's a Mumbeja that she is. And even all the way to Racheal, who has just started business. I feel like I've been on a roller coaster ride on what the opportunities are for us as women. Thank you so much, Racheal and Brenda, who have told us what opportunities we have right there at PSFU. Now, before I go, I'd like to ask Brenda to tell us, one of our viewers is out there watching. She doesn't know where exactly to go to start. She's feeling like she's ready, she's going to take the risks, she's going to be confident, but she just has no idea where to go. So please tell us.
Thank you so much. We have a PSFU tent just right there. Come to the PSFU tent, ask any of us with a t-shirt like mine, we shall be able to help you. If you can't come to the PSFU tent, come to Kampala, Nakasero Hill Road, and our offices are open Monday to Friday. We shall be able to support, and we move the journey with you until you become the Newmans of today. Thank you.
Wow. So their offices are open also in Kampala. Please just walk in and say hi. All over the country, yes, just walk in and say hi. I'm female, I own a business, and I need help. That's all you have to say. Tell them I watched Bump Love, and that is why I am here, and they'll be 100% ready to work with you, to help you. Please don't forget, you're going in to get help. So when they give you the help, it's not always money. Many times it's advice. Many times it's questions. Many times they need to visit. Do what you have to do. Be resilient, in the words of Racheal. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this show. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. And tell us in the comment section the date you're going to go to PSFU and get help. Okay? Until next, actually, as we shall be applying, right? Aeon International. Yes, we shall be. So please come, because we shall also be doing application. We also need help. Okay? Until next time, with love from Bangla.